That'll be 50 cents. Thank you, sir.
Bonjour, Henri.
Bonjour.
How are things in the nation's capital this morning?
Well, for some good, for others not so good. The finance minister bit my head off this morning because of the ketchup situation.
What, he didn't get enough?
Nah, he's always like this before he brings down the budget. I kept telling him, Dave, relax. Well, yeah, it's a good budget, and your popularity will go through the ceiling.
I don't know how you keep it all running, Henri.
I don't know myself. Some days, my friend, I think I should just give it all up and retire from politics.
What, and lose your shot at a Senate seat?
Oh, that doesn't sound good, my friend. Doesn't sound good at all.
Just a cold.
Allow me to suggest, as a fellow worker and a sharer of the joys of Adam's ale, that perhaps this ailment might be something more than simple cold.
Are you a doctor?
J.J. Doyle, concerned friend and colleague. Have you noticed, my friend, and undoubtedly you have, that we live today in a world where not everything is what it seems? I give you, for instance, the ceiling.
Air conditioning?
Air conditioning.
I don't follow you.
Air pumped in, and you, my friend, are suffering from something more than the average cold.
But it was just overhauled only 2 months ago.
But put the pieces together. The system was overhauled all but 2 months ago, and now you are suffering from something that appears to be a cold. What does that tell you, my friend?
I'm allergic to air conditioning.
How many of us know what grows in the night? We're snug and safe in our beds, and before we know it, we are feeling the effects of that which has grown.
My cold?
As an example.
Oh, that's very nice. My wife and I have always wanted to go to Ireland.
That is no Emerald Isle, my friend, but a picture of the inside of an air conditioning duct of a commercial office building.
Then this is a picture of
built-up residue of artificial air dispensation devices. Gunge, guck, crud, what have you.
Then my cold.
No, could be any number of things.
Morning, Robert. How's the cold?
I'm dying.
What?
Mr. Angstrum, this is Mr. Doyle from Ministry of Environment. Imagine, I would have continued on a happy man if he hadn't told me.
You're from Environment?
Well, the less said about that, the better. I'll just settle myself down in here and go about my work to keep a low profile, you know.
Robert, do you want to tell me what all this is about?
It's the air conditioning. Inside, it looks like Ireland. It's gotten that bad.
Ireland. Right. Carry on. Morning, Faye.
Good morning.
Why is Environment here checking our air conditioning?
The air conditioning, right. That explains the cold I've got. Stuffed up, sneezing, headaches.
Right, running noses. What's that got to do with the Environment checking our air conditioning?
You know how the government works. If we all broke our legs, they'd send us someone from Transport Canada.
True. True.
Is he in?
Just.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we just have the ventilation system and the air conditioning fixed?
Well, that's what I thought, but Environment seems to be on top of it now.
On top of what?
Well, whatever the latest problem is.
Do you really think there's a connection between the air conditioning and everybody having a cold?
I don't know. I had an Uncle Bruce who used to claim that every time lightning struck, he'd blink in his right eye.
You're kidding.
No, and sometimes it would affect his left eye, too. After Hurricane Hazel, he was blind for 6 weeks.
Why don't I believe this story?
It's funny, Aunt Kay didn't believe it either. She used to say, "You're only saying that to get out of cleaning the chicken hoose."
3 minutes to the meeting.
You know, this doesn't make any sense at all. What could be in the air conditioning that's so terrible?
Well, the way I figure it, Mr. Doyle's here because whatever work they did in the air conditioning system before didn't work.
Let's go across town to Environment.
Sure.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Our ventilation system is that serious?
Oh, not to worry, not to worry. Just my status report to the minister. You'll have your full analysis soon. The PM himself has shown great interest in this problem. I have a personal letter from him expressing his concern.
The Prime Minister?
Yes, the very man. Well, I'd like to stand here exercising our jaws, but must get back to work, you know.
What do you think?
I think whatever it is, we better keep it to ourselves until we find out what it is. We don't want to cause a panic.
I agree.
We're all dying.
Now, wait a minute, Pierre. No one said anything about dying.
Due to incompetence, most of us only have a few months to live.
Don't you think you're all overreacting?
No.
Perhaps not. I think the pertinent question here is whether or not this is a fully self-contained recycling system.
Perhaps we could all answer that better, Sheila, if we knew what you were talking about.
A recycling system wherein the air generated out, breathed in and exhaled, is then returned to the system, supposedly refiltered and generated outwards again.
Thank you, Sheila. Anyone for lunch?
I wonder if I can trouble you, dear lady, to put these on the deputy minister's desk.
Oh, sure. All this air ventilation trouble isn't going to shut us down, is it?
Shut you down?
Like when they repainted the lobby with lead paint, we had to evacuate and shut down.
Oh, no. No one wants that. But, you know, things can happen.
What does that mean?
Well, anything's possible.
They're really going to close us down?
Well, that's what I hear. The minister's going to make an announcement later today.
In person?
Well, not unless Mr. Wiley's run out of videotape.
Oh, Angstrum, been looking for you.
Hello, Mr. Wiley.
Resituation of closing down department. Bad for minister's image, you understand.
All I know, Mr. Wiley, is that Mr. Doyle is the man you want to talk to.
Doyle. Environment Special Action Man,
Well, I guess that's the one. I've only just met him myself.
Your problem, Angstrum, got to keep on top of these government officials. Fast lane to success. Now, where would I find him?
Well, he's around here someplace. This is his office.
Reception area for a man like Doyle? Oh, Angstrum. Will you never learn?
Will I never learn?
Mr. Angstrum. Your report.
Oh, that was quick.
Speed is the tool of efficiency, Mr. Angstrum.
Well, we'll read it through and give you our comments and... Actually, Mr. Wiley, our chief of staff, was just looking for you.
Oh, just the man to talk to regarding ministerial operating procedures.
He went that way.
Ah, well, let's be off then.
In my game, you saw lots of strange sights. Some of them you learned to live with. Some of them you didn't want to think about. But nothing surprised me anymore. Well, almost nothing. Good morning.
Morning.
Report to the Minister of Environment and the Prime Minister of Canada on air quality by J.J. Doyle. Item 1. Fuzzy gray, green, and purple growths are clustered together like technicolor tumors, completely carpeting the inside of the ventilation system that is now operating within the floors of the Department of Regional Incentive Targets. We are facing a potentially deadly soup of molds, mildews, and bacteria that thrive in dirty ventilation systems throughout. Down here, it's rats, snakes, birds, mice, leaves, dust, and dirt have, as we know, been found in more than 200 buildings within governmental...
What? How are you?
I'll have none of that, Jerry. That's the union contract I want to talk to you about. Section 6.2.
Due attention shall
That's my bid, sir. Due attention shall be paid to such considerations as light, air, and space. I'm telling you, you've got the bargaining unit up in arms. You're holding the physical and mental health of each and every one of them up to ransom, and it will not wash, I tell you, will not wash.
Lon, catch your breath.
In here? You must be joking. The air in here's no fit for management. You'd better review your clauses, Jerry, or you're in trouble.
Look, Lon, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's the same air up here for all of us, labor and management alike.
Oh, wisht, man, you'll not get around me that way. It's more than a grievance procedure you're facing now, Jerry, much more. Well, I've come to say my say and I've said it. So, are you behaving yourself, young Jerry?
Fine, Lon, fine. You'll be hearing from me.
Well, just remember that the fine print is on our side. Afternoon to you.
Look, I know it doesn't look good now, but I don't think there's any cause for panic.
I agree. We must all accept the inevitable.
At last, a vote of confidence.
I personally am getting all my affairs in order and plan to enjoy the little time I have left.
That's not exactly the vote I had in mind.
Which brings us to a point I think we should all be aware of. Full payment of death benefits requires at least 22 days' notice to Public Service Commission, although the premeditated determination of one's death might void all and any claims arising therefrom.
In other words, we have to give 3 weeks' notice before we die.
Precisely.
Where can we get the forms?
Where can I get a mask?
No, I refuse to be slain by incompetence. Call me when it's over.
Pierre.
Be my guest.
Thank you.
Adieu. Adieu. Scalpel?
Anything for me, Andrea?
Yeah, a couple.
Great. Keeping you busy today?
Mr. Doyle from Environment. He keeps sending one thing after another over there.
Would you mind if I board that for a minute?
No, sure.
Thanks.
I was caught in my own web, wondering whether to go to the shoulder holster, blow the whistle for the DA, or order French. Fries.
Gerald, take a look at this.
What is it?
This is the office address for the Minister of Environment.
No, it's not.
You're right.
Well, that's very interesting, but why am I looking at this?
This is where Doyle's sending all his reports.
Is this a game? Am I supposed to guess what you're talking about?
Do you realize that all we have is Mr. Doyle's word that he has some letter from the Prime Minister asking him to look into all this? That we have never seen any identification from him, and no one else has ever called from Environment.
Except Mr. Wiley seems to know him.
Claims he knows him. He only said that when you said you didn't know him.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that somebody better start checking. Where's Doyle now?
Crawling through the ventilation system?
Well, we better find out before he starts more trouble.
Good idea.
The nectar of the gods.
Agreed then.
It's an excellent suggestion, Mr. Wiley. But then one can always rely upon those at the top to provide the answers to one's most difficult queries. My job. A 6-man task force in my control. Clean up the whole situation.
Important point. Minister's image paramount here. Department must remain operational. Air comes and goes. Only one minister.
Eloquently put, Mr. Wiley.
Inevitable result, JJ, when men at top take control.
Quite true, Mr. Wiley. Quite true.
Margaret, could I need to talk to you.
I'm a little busy right now, Robert. Maybe later over coffee?
There may not be any more coffee. I mean, I've just been to my doctor, and he'll be calling me back in a few minutes, and I just wanted to tell you how much I've enjoyed my time here at Drit and on this planet.
Robert, I don't think you're dying.
It's made me think that
Robert?
I must make my witness, Margaret.
You're what?
Since I started here, I've always wanted to tell you that, well, if I weren't married. I am, of course, and she's a wonderful woman, but if you were a woman, not that you're not a woman, but if you were a woman and a man even resembling me were to...
Robert, I don't think you want to be saying this.
If I had the chance to do it all again, I'd like to think that I would still work at Drit and still with you. It's...
Robert, I understand.
But now it's just a memory. Not that it ever was, but if it had been, it would now be a memory, and it would be the best memory that I would have had.
I don't know what to say.
Just one of those things.
One of those crazy things. Well, Robert, thank you very much for telling me.
I felt I should.
Adieu.
Bless you.
Task force, no more than a panel of 6 to investigate situation, a modest secretariat, responsible directly to the minister.
Fine. What are we talking about?
If Drit shut down due to ventilation, minister looks bad. Would inform minister putting Mr. Doyle in full charge of task force.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Have to, no other way. Full faith in Mr. Doyle.
Gerald, can I talk to you?
I wish you would.
Your problem, Angstrum? Bull. Failure to take same by horns. Fortunately, I'm in charge now. End of conversation.
Gerald, you're going to want to see this letter that Mr. Doyle has from the Prime Minister.
Oh, his letter of authorization. Dear sir, I appreciate your concern, blah, 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 blah. Valid interest of all Canadians who must be worried about the environment. Yours truly, John G. Diefenbaker.
A 25-year-old form letter issued to all citizens writing the PM about the environment.
He's a phony.
A fake.
Well, we got to make sure this doesn't leak out.
You're right.
Just check with the environment. And they never heard of our Mr. Doyle. My bet is he's a phony.
Thank God it hasn't leaked out.
A charlatan! The man is a charlatan.
Robert.
I went to my doctor to ask him for something to dull the pain when the end comes.
And?
He just called. I have a cold.
Well, look on the bright side. At least you're not dying.
It's an insult to wind up having a cold. I've already put my house up for sale, sold the contents of my garage, said things that can't be unsaid. My 4-foot-high equestrian statue of King George V holding a silver chalice I sold for $14.
Mr. Doyle is...
Misidentified as to departmental affiliation.
He's a phony.
That's what I said.
Margaret, there's someone we have to see.
Right. Now,
If you need more Kleenex, it's in the drawer.
I've just been down to Public Works, and there's nothing you can do about the situation. Mr. Doyle, if you wouldn't mind sitting right here.
Oh, thank you. What is it? A few details not quite clear in the report?
Mr. Doyle. I'm afraid I've got something very serious to say to you.
Oh, what's the problem, my friend?
In 3 days, you almost managed to shut down an entire government department. You almost made a minister go to the House to make a statement. You did manage to convince the chief of staff to give you a 6-man task force, all in 3 days.
We can't get that much done in 3 months.
Now, we know you don't work in environment. You're not even a public servant. I'm sorry to be so blunt and cruel, but the game's up.
Bless you. Bless you both. My beliefs have been vindicated.
Didn't you hear what we said?
Mr. Doyle, we may have to press charges.
Please do, please do. I know a lot of wonderful lawyers in justice, old colleagues of mine who'd help out.
You were in justice?
Oh, yes.
How many other departments were you in?
Well, all of them. Yeah, except health. 5 years with defense. Never make head nor tail of that.
I'll bet.
But it's always been my belief that there must be people inside the public service who know something about what they're doing, know vaguely what's going on. But I could never find them. Until now, that is. It's wonderful to find that there really is a sense of responsibility after all. Our country may even be safe one day. And I can now relax.
Mr. Doyle, I guess I can understand what you've been doing.
Perhaps if Mr. Doyle vows never to enter a government office again, if he kicks the habit.
Well, of course, of course. I mean, why should I continue when I've been found out, eh? Wonderful, wonderful.
Mr. Doyle, please, come this way.
Oh, of course.
Now, if you take this elevator and don't come back, and you promise not to do this sort of thing again, I think we can overlook it.
Well, as I said, of course, of course. You're such splendid examples of a modern moral method.
Doyle, good that you're here. I've arranged it. Tour of the other departments in public service. Environment minister's behind it every step of the way.
Ah. Yes, of course. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Strange exit. Any ideas, Angstrum?
Emergency. Apparently, while they were redecorating Sussex Drive, they papered over the PM's air ducts. Top priority. Well, let's get back to work. Another day, Henri.
That's right, my friend. Last cup of coffee on the house.
Thanks, I'll pass.
You look a little tired. Is everything well with your department?
Came close to losing it today, Henri, but we pulled through just.
Well, we've got a lot of trouble down here, let me tell you.
Huh?
So there's this new guy running the health department who wants to see us off the street. I don't know about the others, but this wagon is as clean as your toothbrush.
What new guy in health?
His name is, Hoyle. No, Doyle.
J.J. Doyle?
You know him?
Vaguely. I'll tell you what, Henri, if he gives you any more trouble, have him talk to me.
You have such power with health.
Henri, you'd be amazed who's running health and environment and finance and... Never mind, Henri. Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
À demain.
Yeah.
The smog hung heavy as I walked the filthy, garbage-strewn back alleys. There was always some new guy who thought he could clean up the city. Well, it had been tried before. All I knew was that you only die once, and tomorrow was another day.